That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school. Yeah, man.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, I'm afraid of course, there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Yeah, it is that time, kids. Happy Monday to you all. Welcome to the IRONWORX right here on freeworld.fm. Also streaming live to the YouTube channel, the IRONWORX, Jesus Christ, the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel, as if I even know the name of it. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey there. Hi.
There we go.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Is it me or is that really low?
No, Zack is pretty low.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
Why you so down, Zack? Get up, man.
same setup I always got. I don't know how it could be lower than normal.
Probably because you had to set up for Zoom. Zoom audio and Skype audio.
No, Zoom I do on the computer.
Oh, that's right.
Skype I do on my phone.
Well, then I think you figured the problem. Maybe that's the...
Am I low?
No, not necessarily low. You're definitely...
You're better now.
Louder, yeah. Maybe a tad muffled, but that's splitting hairs.
Oh, tired.
Me too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I have not touched coffee yet.
Ooh.
I have. It didn't matter, so I started drinking it instead, and it feels a little better.
I tried drinking and it didn't seem to help, so I figured I'd just
I didn't help it.
tie one off and go mainline it.
Hey, there you go.
Just figured I'd, put it in a pick line and we'll just add coffee as needed.
That is needed.
How was the
I
weekend?
don't know why Mondays are harder than Tuesdays were, but it is.
It does seem that way. I'll agree.
I guess because by Tuesday we'd already had a day of real world. I don't know. But yeah, definitely it just feels like when that thing happens Monday morning, I'm just like, really?
I know.
All right, let me get up. And I know it'll get better here in about 5 or 6 minutes. And but right now it's still sleepy. But hey, that's what we do. We get up early and we're here. So stop bitching, Walter. Big wimp.
How was your weekend, Walter?
It was good. It was good. We really didn't do a whole lot of anything. There was a festival downtown. Checked it out for just a little while. I guess it's us more than the festivals, just aren't, at least here in town, I do remember them being a lot different, but that was also back in the day when I would, get up on stage and do karaoke in the middle of a festival and things like that if you drink enough. So it's understandable. Maybe there was probably some lubrication involved in some of the festivals back in the day that made them more bearable. But yeah, just not our scene anymore. Now, if it was a bigger festival with more vendors and more people doing things, but pretty much it's the same people we see every couple of months when there's a new festival here in town. And well, we love those people and their overly Cajun themed artwork or their overly whatever themed artwork. We love them. It's just not for us.
Yeah,
and
lean into
that's
it.
really for the people who would come visiting from other places. So, what was that, Josh?
So that's tourism. You just got to lean into it.
Yeah, I know.
So what does Cajun artwork look like?
You're going to have lots of crawfish. You're going to have lots of alligators. You're going to have lots of pelicans. You're going to have lots of big oak trees. It's going to be lots of scenes down Bourbon Street lit from window lighting with the wet pavement reflecting it back. That's pretty much Cajun artwork in a nutshell for you.
I like it.
Yeah.
How about you, Josh?
It was a good weekend. We finally brought Evie home yesterday. And she's been the quickest to adjust. It's been amazing. We brought her home and she pretty well seemed to have hit 90% of the check boxes of when a rabbit is relaxed. On the screen is a picture of she and I. This is about 5 minutes after letting her out of her carrier when we brought her home from the shelter. Usually they'll maybe loaf up, they're dense, they're like real clenched up and tight, and they're just anxious and nervous, and they're usually just a big ball of nervous energy when they first get there. But she just seemed to relax right into it. She came and got some snuggles. She did a big full flop. She did some grooming. She did all the good stuff that a bunny lets you know that she's happy and comfortable where she is now. So I think it's going to be good. She is actually being held in the studio right now. Her X-Pen is right behind me. We had to take up a bit of real estate here in the studio in order to keep her here. But once we get them bonded, she and Harris will have their own larger. So this is just temporary. But yeah, it's been going good.
Glad to hear it, man. That's awesome. Yeah, because bunnies, I mean, if they don't want to be there, they're not going to be there, right?
No, that's right. When they don't want to do something, they typically will make it known one way or the other. Like if a rabbit doesn't want to be held, it's going to let you know.
Yeah, you're probably not going to hold it.
You can, but you'll have to squeeze real hard.
Oh, my sister. We had this little dog. It was part Dachshund, part Chihuahua. Little brown, real hairy dog. Cute little thing named Grace. Maybe 7 pounds, 8 pounds. Just a tiny little thing. And my sister was like, I don't know, maybe 5 when we got her. 4. And it took forever, but we had to, like, train my sister. It's not okay to carry Grace around by her neck. You know, because she wanted to hold the dog, but she didn't want to, like, hold the dog. So she'd pick her up by her neck and just carry her around. It's like, what are you doing, Amy? Oh, my God. I'll never forget that. Poor Gracie. He was a good dog. Yeah, that's one of those things. Me and my mom we always laugh about that. She wasn't trying to hurt her or anything. She was just trying to love her. But Amy, oh my goodness.
Amy.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad weekend.
Catch up on your sleep a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, I slept until like 9:30. I think it was Saturday. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, I don't ever sleep in that late. I woke up and I was just like, oh my goodness. Didn't feel right though. Nemo and I are having fun with the gifts over on freeworld.fm.
Oh man, I'm not even over there. What am I
Neither
doing?
am I. I need to
See, that's
play
how
this.
sleepy I am.
We all just
Haven't seen Liz over here yet. She might be mad because Cami didn't download Fortnite yet. Told her to, Liz. I told her. You wouldn't listen.
I don't know.
We were gonna get around to it, but what kept coming up? So Free World should be officially launching
This
the first.
unofficially.
Right.
I think the first is the very tentative soft launch. I think it seems like there was another date that Billy Ray had planned,
Nice.
but it should be this week. This week should be the official launch.
I'm excited to see what the website's going to be like. I really love the chat. I just really do. You can find anything. I've been typing in just crazy words. I typed in something about a fart, and it brought up Monty Python. I fart in your general direction. What else did I use? Something pickle. There's Walter. And Josh.
Do it.
I'm here.
I do it.
So what, is there anything new going on at FE?
That's a real good question.
That's a good question. I mean, I haven't watched new things in a minute, so I wouldn't know. I'm not gonna lie. I tend to go to the people I know instead of trying to find new stuff anymore, because, you know, for the longest time, trying to find new stuff was a joke. If you didn't know the channel existed, you weren't gonna see it. So it kind of spoiled me for just searching YouTube. But I know that there's always new people. You got us in touch with someone this last little period, I think. That I may be wrong. I'm not sure if that's who you were talking about, but I did get an email forwarded to me from the Iron Realm Media email, so to which I responded. But definitely,
I feel like that was a separate one.
was that something different?
think-
Was that something separate? I don't know. I'm asking kind of in
So the
both
email-
of your direction because I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if that was supposed to be the new person or if that was just the first time we've been
Well,
connected to someone that we've been knowing in chat.
I think that's just the first time that we've been connected to somebody that's been in our chat.
I thought I knew
think
the
that's
name
it.
as well, but
Yeah.
again, I'm so terrible with handles and
Near as I can tell, it's
Monikers.
C. Lambden or something to that
Well, that's
effect.
what I
They're in
thought.
chat.
when I saw it, but then I was like, well, this isn't a new person, but maybe it was to Zack at the conference or something. So that's not the new person. Okay, cool. Well,
I don't think so.
Anyway, it was good to hear from somebody, and they were sharing their story, so I invited them on to come share.
Yeah, there's a
When it works for
gentleman named Ali I was hoping would reach out, and then I believe no longer on the ball. If I'm remembering correctly, don't quote me on that. But I thought it was no longer on the ball who wanted to also come on, talk about his wiki page that he started. A Flat Earth wiki. Actually, it's not a wiki page, it's an actual wiki
Site.
site. Yeah,
Set up
a
like
wiki.
Wikipedia, but based on flat Earth information, I'm assuming.
Yep.
There's been a few of those. Like there was once upon a time in the early days of flat Earth, it was like almost a website template you could set up, just a wiki template, and you could just set up your whole wiki page for wiki anything. And I remember there being a couple people that set up some flat Earth wiki pages. Wiki wiki.
Wiki, wiki, wiki. Electric.
Woogie woogie woogie.
Walt is lizzing. Too much fun with these gifts, I'm telling you.
Yeah, very distracting, and that's all I don't need is a distraction.
Sorry.
No, nothing popped up when I put in my name.
You doing a Google search on yourself?
Gift search. There's a bunch of Zachary Zabala.
I mean, I know what inevitably comes up when I type my name in. It's going to be Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, they have Zavala, Zavala.
I don't know what I'm seeing here, but that's interesting.
It's like where my name comes from. Zabala, it's all from the same region of Spain. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, I typed in Zabala and this came up. And you have to talk to Josh.
Oh, wow.
Here's Walter.
That's nuts, whatever you got there, man.
No, that's just wrong.
Anyway, let's stop being poor.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Flat Earth Radio Show, where we play with gifts.
All right.
So the U.S. Space Force's first official painting shows military spaceplane intercepting adversary satellite.
This is their first official painting, did I hear you say?
Yes,
So
their
is this-
first official painting.
So is this like the first
Is it
one
on
that they
Velvet,
had?
Black Velvet?
Did they commission this to have someone do it? Or is this like a group effort, fucking group therapy craft time where they all get
Right.
together with
finger paint.
finger paint, and they all pitch in and paint their own little section, and they come up with a fucking painting from Space Force? What the fuck?
The futuristic intercept vehicle is based on historical space planes, okay, and the artist's imagination, Space Force says. An official painting depicting a space plane intercepting an adversary satellite, perhaps illustrating a hint of what we can expect if orbital warfare is in our future. So the SPOC, or Space Operations Command, which provides orbital warfare and intelligence capabilities to the U.S. Space Force, unveiled the painting during a ceremony at Peterson Space Force Base in Colorado. The artwork, titled High Ground Intercept, was commissioned with artist Rick Herder and is SPOC's first official painting. Oh my goodness. The painting depicts a roughly delta-shaped space plane referred to as a futuristic intercept vehicle, opening its payload bay doors as it moves into position. Now, it doesn't do, I mean, yes, the doors are open, but it's not opening. It's not like a video. The doors are opening, and it's getting into position to engage an adversary satellite that it itself targeting a friendly spacecraft. What? that is itself targeting a friendly spacecraft. The space plane is reminiscent of past U.S. military space planes, such as the X-20 Dinosaur, or even today's highly mysterious X-37B. Although SPOC stresses the painting spacecraft is fictional. Wah, wah, wah.
So this alone, this whole thing should tell us all enough about the reality of space. If there was even the slightest, tiniest chance that a foreign power could create some kind of domination scheme by launching spacey satellites with weaponry upon them to inflict damage upon other satellites, we would be sitting here in the dark with no internet, watching fucking fireworks in the sky every other day, because that would have been going on since they first started launching these fucking things. But has it happened yet? No. And why? Because now in 2023 we have fucking Space Force. This is the most load of horseshit I've heard yet.
It even drops Neil Armstrong's name in the article. Just for out of nowhere, it's Neil Armstrong, the first human to walk on the moon, was secretly chosen for the Dinosaur test regime. Dyna, D-Y-N-A dash S-O-A-R. Dinosaur.
Oh, aren't they clever?
Cool. Yeah. But the program was canceled before its first flight.
This is gay.
Yeah, we chose Neil to do this, but then we canceled it. Who cares then? But its legacy lived on, however, influencing the design of NASA's space shuttle. Yeah, that is no longer in use.
Okay, so that's the name of the shuttle. I thought that was the name of the mission. They were, poking fun at our elderly astronauts.
Hank Williams Jr. out there. He had a song called Dinosaur.
I really love watching the
out a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Cami is always watching these reaction videos, watching people reacting to different types of music. She loves it.
What are you doing?
And I've been watching reaction videos lately to A Country Boy Can Survive. It's great.
Lord.
It is. They all love it. Everybody loves it. Doesn't matter what music they're normally used to listening to, rap or hip hop or heavy metal, rock. When people hear A Country Boy Can Survive, they dig it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Hank's voice or just the way he sings that one. He never really uses his pipes too much. At the very end, he wails a little bit, and you get like a glimpse of Hank Williams Jr.'s amazing voice and vocals. But for the most part, he's just talking that song. Yeah, that's a great one. That wouldn't be a bad one to play here in a few minutes. Are
I
we
was
gonna?
already downloading it.
There you go. Yeah, that one, and that's one of those songs that's like timeless. It's like until the Book of Revelations becomes true, you know. That song is timeless.
Right, until they try to start to starve us out, make us run.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and so many people hear that song and they're like, yep, those are going to be the people that survive when all the shit goes down. You know, if the grocery stores close and the highways get shut off and all this craziness goes on, get those people out in the country. They're going to be the last ones to be, you know, messed around with.
I saw
country boys can't survive.
I saw Ross Haas covering Richmond, north of Richmond. Thought that was pretty good, giving it a go, trying to learn the song. I saw that
cool.
Over on Facebook. If you can, friends with Ross Thatcher, check him out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was messing around with my guitar over the weekend. First time I picked it up in months. I played for about 2 minutes. And then my fingers already started hurting. I was like, oh man, I need to get some lights on there. I got medium, and on an acoustic, medium strings they're big. Not quite a bass guitar for an electric, but they're big.
But they're big, yeah.
Yeah. They just start digging into your fingers real quick. But it'll happen. Gotta build up them calluses again. So this one's from phys.org. NASA tech breathes life into potentially game-changing antenna design. So some 30 years ago, a young engineer named Christopher Walker, I don't know if he's related to the same Christopher Walker and Winnie the Pooh, but...
Oh, he was Christopher Robin.
That was
you're right.
Robin.
Christopher Walken is the actor, right?
And that would be also correct.
Okay.
He's the one that needed more cowbell.
This guy.
So Christopher Walker was home in the evening making chocolate pudding when he got what turned out to be a very serendipitous call from his mother. What does this have to do about a satellite design?
Just wait.
Taking the call, he shut off the stove and stretched plastic wrap over the pot to keep the pudding fresh. By the time he returned, the cooling air in the pot had drawn the wrap into a concave shape. And in that warped plastic, he saw something. A magnified reflection of an overhead light bulb that gave him an idea that could revolutionize space-based sensing and communications. That idea became the large balloon reflector, an inflatable device that creates wide... Oh, wait a minute now. 30 years ago, this guy envisioned this. What happened to the NASA balloon that they first sent up 1,000 miles to do this exact very thing back in the 50s? Which was like 70 years ago. Okay, sorry. I digress. A large balloon reflector, an inflatable device that creates wide collection apertures that weigh a fraction of today's deployable antennas. Now, with an assist from NASA's Innovative Advanced Concepts program, funded by the agency's Space Technology Mission Directorate, which supports visionary innovations from diverse sources, Walker's decades-old vision is coming to fruition. But did he see the same NASA program I saw? I don't get it. That was a horribly written sentence right there, too. I think if they would have made it any longer, I mean, that sentence is like a paragraph.
Yeah, I notice a lot of run-on sentences these days with the AI helping.
Yeah. So the concept turns part of the inside surface of an inflated sphere into a parabolic antenna. A section comprising about a third of the balloon's interior surface is illuminized, giving it reflective properties. Blah, 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 blah. 21 feet in diameter, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they're not showing a picture of it. But how is this any different than the shiny ball that NASA sent up in the 50s? I don't get it. And this thing just keeps going on and on and on. Yeah, Fizz.org by Swati Patel. Yeah, you used AI, Swati. Cheater. Write your own articles. Now that's just a joke. The views held by Zack are not those held at freeworld.fm or blah, 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 blah. Supreme Court wades into social media wars over free speech.
Right.
You're right.
Right.
Well, screw the Supreme Court. I want to hear some Hank Williams Jr. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I can do that. What?
What?
A what?
Makes absolutely no sense at all.
Is it not working?
No, it's just when I went and pulled it from a certain area of the internet, downloaded it, it named it wrong. I don't know why it did this, but it did. Regardless, I double checked. It sounds like the right song, so. All right, it's kind of a cold start, so you want to get us out of here while I get finished getting it up?
Absolutely. We're going to take a little break here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go recaffeinate and all that good stuff. Stick around. We will be back after a little bit of Hank Williams Jr. Randall, Rockin' Randall, also known as Bocephus, firstborn son of Hank Williams.
Says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, a woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I can plow a field all day long. I can catch catfish from dusk till dawn. Make our own whiskey and our own smoke too. Ain't too many things these old boys can't do. We grow good old tomatoes and homemade wine, and country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Because you can't starve us out and you can't make us run. Those wisdom old boys raised on shotgun. We say grace and we say ma'am. If you ain't into that, we don't give a damn. We came from the West Virginia coal mines and the Rocky Mountains and the western skies. And we can skin a buck, we can run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I had a good friend in New York City. He never called me by my name, just Hillbilly. My grandpa taught me how to live off the land, and his taught him to be a businessman. He used to send me pictures of the Broadway night, and I'd send him some homemade wine. But he was killed by a man with a switchblade knife. For $43, my friend lost his life. I'd love to spit some beach nut in that dude's eyes and shoot him with my old 45, cause a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Cause you can't stop us out and you can't make us run, cause when them old boys raised on shotgun, we say grace, we say ma'am, if you ain't into that, don't give a damn. We're from North California and South Alabama and little towns all around this land. We can skin a buck and run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Country boy can survive. Country folks can survive.
Oh, Cephas getting her done. Country boy can survive. Right here. IRONWORX. Free World FM.
But I don't know what it is about that song. That song is always, even when I was young, but since the first time I've heard it, I got pumped hearing that song.
Well, that's kind of, he's what got me back into country music. I had grown up, you know, with my mom and my dad and most of my uncles and everybody having a huge chunk of country music life, in addition to, like, you know, Elvis and learning rock and roll and all these things. So I was, you know, exposed and steeped in it growing up. And then when I got to be a teenager and could choose my own stuff, it was, you know, rock and roll all the way. And then my buddy just kept on and kept on. It's like, you don't understand. He's like a rock and roll country guy. And I'm like, yeah, but he's a country guy. You know, it's not for me. And we had this long trip. He went to pick me up at a job I was on in Texas. And when I got in the car, he shoved that 8-track. Yes, it was still an 8-track back in his car. Yeah, and he was like, you want to listen to this if I come pick your ass up? I told you that. So, yeah, we listened to Hank Williams all the way home. And I was a huge fan by the time we got there. That's also when he introduced me to Mr. John Prine, who I also became a huge fan of. Probably 82-ish, 84-ish this happened, I guess. 83 maybe? I don't know. Early 80s for sure. That may have been 1980.
I must say, I never wanted to be a cowboy, though. Ever. I was never with the 6-shooters and all that. It was never one of the things I wanted to be when I was young, was the cowboy. Not sure why.
Probably just lack of exposure.
Bucked off a horse when I was young.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I grew up with Gunsmoke coming on every day of my life. I grew up with, you know, the cowboy movies, with every night going to bed after, like, it would be the local Channel 16, which you only could get to if you knew how to use that U and that other 2 sets of ears on the back of the TV and tune that weird knob. And there it was. Channel 16 would come in. I think they were like the NBC, I mean the ABC affiliate. Anyway, they would show Addams Family, and they would show Roppelman, and then they would show a Gunsmoke. And that was like every night ritual for shit since I was from like 8 till about 12 probably. That was the nightly routine. So yeah, definitely was steeped in cowboyism. I think that's why the Young Guns hit so hard when it came out, because, you know, we had grown up with all that, or at that age, I had grown up with all that, and it was like, what? They're making it cool again. For a little while, anyway.
Yeah, cowboys, they're a different breed. They really are.
Thought I might have had some pictures from my wilder days. Maybe not.
I've got one somewhere.
Back in high school, there was a couple girls that used to love going to the square dance. You know,
Oh, wow.
yeah, there was a county, I think it was the next county south of Lake County in Indiana, and it just turns into straight country, cornfields everywhere. That's it. It goes from like the south side of Chicago to country.
That's the baddest part of town.
Yeah. But yeah,
Jim Croce thing. Never mind.
oh yeah, bad Leroy Brown. But yeah, they used to love putting on their country hats or their cowboy hats and all this stuff and their boots, and I don't know, I got a kick out of it. I went with them one time. I was like, all right, that's enough. I mean, I always liked country music, but square dancing music is a little bit different than your regular, just old country music.
I wonder
I guess
if...
I was in 5th grade when I learned how to do-si-do in PE.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, that PE teacher thought that was what we needed to do that semester. So we learned how to square dance.
I was wondering, I was just thinking about this the other day. Because we did the same thing. We had to learn how to square dance when we were in elementary school. I think it was like 5th or 6th grade. And I was trying to figure out what would be the point of it. Like, why is it? Because there's lots of kids
Right.
our age where square dancing was just sort of part of the curriculum. And I wonder if it's not just a matter of getting the boys and girls to not be scared of each other. Sort of force a little bit of physical contact. I don't know. I can't for the life of me figure out the point of making the kids square dance, except that it helps break down some of those barriers. I just...
See, until you've...
Yeah, I think that was the very
so
first
prevalent in all the education systems. I didn't know everybody did that. I just assumed it was a Southern thing is why we did it. But wow, there you go. So
Yeah.
that is interesting.
I think you're right, Jack. That was like the first time I ever danced with anyone, really, with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Was square dancing in school. So how many other people out there square danced in school? Did you learn how to do that in elementary? It was always elementary school where we did it. Once we got to middle school and all that stuff, we had the school dances that now started. When was your first school dance? I think mine was, I didn't go till like 8th grade. I went to my first school dance. Because I thought they were going to make me dance there. That was like in my head, like, yeah, you're going to line up on one side, they're going to line up at the other, you're going to have to go pick out a partner, and I don't know how to dance. What are you talking? Yeah.
What's
So dumb.
Why would I go to a dance if I don't know how to dance?
Yeah. I didn't know it's just a social gathering where 95% of the people are not dancing. Just standing around in the gym with the lights off and music playing.
Yeah.
The good old days. I couldn't even imagine what school is like now, with all the cell phones and all the children's ability to see all these things that, you know, most of us couldn't see back in the day at that young age.
Right.
School is going to be so different. These children are growing up so fast now. I mean, back in the day, we had a chance to be children. And now it seems you have to work real hard for your child to have an actual childhood. without all these adult themes and adult situations being presented before them. Yeah, different. I'm glad I'm Generation X, grown up in the 80s. But we did at Pee Wee's Playhouse, so.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. It's like some of the stuff that we watched as children was just as bad. You go back and watch it now, and you just can't believe that that's the same show. But then you see like Lawrence Fishburne as a singing cowboy, and you know Morpheus ain't doing that shit again. Think they could pay him enough money to become the cowboy again? Who else got a start on that show, or was on that show with Pee Wee? Wasn't there a couple people in there?
Oh yeah, several as I recall. But I just
George Carlin wasn't on there, was he? He was Mad TV, right? I forget. Now I'm gonna have to look it all up. Pee Wee's Playhouse cast.
Oh no, George Carlin wasn't on there. I was reading chat and got sidetracked and trying to ascertain what your question was. Now that I know what your question was, no, George Carlin was not a member of the cast of Pee Wee's Playhouse. It was a lot of the same people that were in the
Charlie Kelly's mom. You know the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Uh-huh.
Well, I love that show. It's always
Yeah,
sunny.
I do. I'm sorry. I'm still reading, man. When I read, I'm very distracted. I apologize. What about?
Charlie's mother in that show was one of the members of Pee Wee's Playhouse. Miss
Who?
Yvonne.
Oh, you're kidding. That's nuts. I never saw her on the show when I watched it. So I didn't ever know that. That's nuts.
S. Apatha Merkerson. She was in like, I think, either NYPD Blue or one of the Law and Orders.
Yeah, I never saw that either. I saw her on Pee Wee. That's the only thing I knew her from. So I didn't know
Bill
she'd gone on to
Hartman?
do other things. Oh
Bill
yeah, I knew
Hartman
Bill. That's
was
where he
on
was
Pee
at. Yeah, he was Captain Carl.
What?
Captain Carl. He was in the original Broadway show. Like he was part of writing the original Broadway show that show evolved from. Oh, Captain Carl. That's actually currently streaming somewhere. I just watched it again because it's been a long time since I saw that. Because that was the first official iteration, I guess you could say, of Pee Wee in the world. Before that, it was just Paul Reubens riffing off of Andy Kaufman's life, I guess, but his shticks. Well, I mean, it's true. That's where, like, Kaufman had the plan for a daytime kids show that would be subversive and have all kind of hidden things, just like Pee Wee wound up doing. And when he was no longer around, Paul ran with it. It's a fact. I mean, it's if you dig into comedy, like I have, yeah, you find out all kind of stuff like that. But definitely, yeah, Phil Hartman was integral to writing a lot of that. And don't forget Morpheus. You might be able to kick your ass in the Matrix, but at one time he was doing golly, Pee Wee.
Yeah, they're Jimmy Smith, Sandra Bernhard, Leslie Jordan.
I remember Sandra Bernhard, but I forgot about Smith's being in there.
Jimmy
Dick
Smith
Trevino.
Jimmy Smith redefined television, as you recall. If it weren't for Jimmy Smith's bare ass, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of the nonsense we see on TV now.
Yeah.
He was the first. Wow, there were some big names in here. And Paul Reubens. Now, did he do Pee Wee before or after Nice Dreams by Cheech and Chong?
That was, like I said, he was working a character. That's why that character seems so much like Pee Wee Herman. He was in their comedy group, that group that hung out around, Cheech and Chong. And that was a character he had been working on and developing. It hadn't had a name yet. It wasn't defined as this childlike character yet, but it was definitely a socially awkward, very annoying, just like he was, the hamburger guy, And then later on, he was even in, damn it, the other one, where they go to the DMV and they're tripping. Was it not next movie? Was that the one where the guy played like the guy did the Jimi Hendrix with the light bulb and all that? Damn it, which one? Whichever one that was, he was in that one too. He played a different character, and he was very Pee Wee-like. I mean, Paul Rubens is Paul Rubens. That part of him shines through in all those characters. But yeah, that's when it was being built and created. And then, like I said, once Kaufman kind of got out of the way, luckily passing over for him, yeah, he ran with it and turned it into the daytime kid show.
Just the GIF with Grace Jones dancing with Pee Wee. And she was a big lady. She is like dwarfing that guy. Yeah, the only movie I really remember her from is Conan, or was it Red Sonja? I think Grace was only in the Red Sonja movies.
But she was in the Conan, the second one, Conan the
Destroyer.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, I think it's the Destroyer. Yeah.
Which, even though it is the lesser of the Conan movies, was still quite enjoyable, or at least at the age I last saw it. Probably it was still enjoyable.
That's the one with James Earl Jones, right? Where he's like the snake.
No, that was the first one. That was Conan the Barbarian. That was the first original one. She wasn't in that one. That one had a lady who wound up playing Red Sonja in it, I believe.
Who directed though?
No, actually no. Now you got me.
I remember the Conan the Barbarian. They like don't speak at all for like the first 20 minutes of the movie. It's like him growing up and sitting there pushing that wheel thing that spins around in a circle, and he's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at first he's pushing it with a big group of people, and by the end he's the only person pushing it, and he's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he goes and meets the witch, and not a word is spoken. I think the first person.
Wow, John Milius directed that. I had no idea that's who directed that. Like, he's crazy. That's crazy that he directed that. I mean, he did Red Dawn. He did, I can't think right now. Other movies. I'm trying to look him up. Apocalypse Now. He wrote that. The Miami Vice movie, Extreme Predator, Farewell to the King. I knew there was another one I liked a lot that he did. Geronimo, that's the other one I liked with Wes Rudy in it. Yeah, I knew his movies. Yep, I like him. I know that was him. So that's who directed it.
Nice.
Thulsa Doom is who you were asking about. I couldn't remember his name. I had it right on. I was thinking it was Doom somebody else, Doom something, but it was Thulsa Doom. Wow, based Mike for life, Mike B for life. I did forget the Andy Dick connection to the Phil Hartman tragedy. It's been a long time though since I got aggravated and pissed off about that whole thing. Because that was a horrible loss that we had. Yes, he was very talented.
Yeah. Talk radio could have went on for another 5 seasons if that wouldn't have happened. I really enjoyed that show. And then they tried to bring in, what's his name? The City Slicker 2 guy, the annoying one.
See, I didn't even probably watch it after he got out of it, so I don't remember who it was.
Lubitz? Is that his name? John Lubitz?
Oh, there you go. No, I didn't. I missed that.
Yeah, it just totally lost its mojo once Phil Hartman left. It wasn't the same show. But yeah, that was a good one. Jimmy James, one of my favorite characters on any show.
An amazing actor, Stephen Root.
Yeah,
You know, he does the voice of Bill on Hank and them, right? On King of the Hill.
Really?
Bill. He does the voice of Bill, yeah. I didn't know it for years, and then I saw his name in the credit one night, and he hit me. It's like, wait, Stephen Root, is that? And I went and looked it up. I'm like, no shit.
Oh, big stretch. Well, it's about time for another song, gents. Who's going to pick this one? I picked the first one.
What you got? So you got something ready? Josh, you got something?
You know, country boys can't survive, right?
I did hear about that.
I do have something ready, but, you know, it's whatever.
Whatever.
No, I don't know.
Simon Jackson. Ooh. Oh, that was bad. Nope, not
Am I
yet.
playing it, or are you playing it? How did that work last time? Did the song start messing up? I ran to do things, so I couldn't really hear it great in my earbud because I was losing connection in the back part of the house.
I do believe I remember people saying it worked out okay. But this one I don't have to play. I don't think.
What happened?
But I don't think I'll have to play this one from the browser. It's just not letting me do what I want. All right, we'll just do it the hard way. If I can find it.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I thought you had it handy, or I would have been talking a little more. I was actually digging through to see
Yeah, my
a
bad.
specific song that came to mind, and it's not in my list for some reason. I thought I had downloaded it.
I stepped out into the house and there's pot roast cooking from since last night, and man, it's
Oh, coming to your house.
yeah, it was overwhelming. It kind of got lost in the sauce.
All right, I do have a song. Let me just. Did y'all hear that?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Oh, I think I know why. Because it's.
Snackle snaps.
Still not hearing it if we're supposed to be.
Yeah, no. Let's try this.
There we go.
All right, good deal. Sweet. I've not heard this song in a hot minute, and this is the song I always think of. This is one I'm pretty sure I bought. It was a actual cassette tape called "Wrap It Up," and it was like a compilation tape, and it just had a bunch of different artists and songs and shit on there. And I just always remember this one being played. So in honor, what's that, Zach?
I'm trying to mute and it will not let me. It's driving me insane.
Well, in honor of Pee Wee Herman, here's a little bit of Joeski Love with Pee Wee's Dance. Yeah. This is it.
Get busy, y'all. Busy, y'all. Busy, y'all. Busy, y'all. Busy, y'all. Check it out, party people, cause this party is burning. For a new dance, I know you've been yearning. Yearning, for all you people concerning. A brand new dance called the Pee Wee Herman. Just move your hands to the front, and if you can't hear the music, say, huh? What? At the doing this dance, it might hurt your back. Just look at the crowd. Say, I meant to do that. It's the Pee Wee Herman, new dances. Go with the fans for the sweep and blood naked. So come on, everybody, rock with Joski and the new dance called the Pee Wee. It's funky breath, so don't read people. So get on the floor and get on your bicycle. If you don't know how to do it, you better start learning this brand new dance called the Pee Wee Herman. Herman. Now, just listen to me at the new dance called the Pee Wee. You jump around, act like a fool. Some think it's kinda dumb, but I think it's cool. And when you start acting foolish, you got it right. So let's break the Pee Wee Herman while I rock the mic. The dance is hot. In other words, it's burning. So let's do the dance called the Pee Wee Herman. Check it out, y'all. Now take that beat. They'll be doing the Pee Wee every jam you enter. The jam on the Pee Wee Herman's great adventure. That's the hard shit. It's easy, you see. Just act like Pee Wee Herman, very stupid to leave. Some think it's love, some say it's cute. Throw on a bow tie, a tight plaid suit. Your hot water pan and your 5-inch heels, and now you look like Pee Wee Herman. How do you feel? You might have to urge to talk to your food while you're on the dance floor doing Pee Wee's cool. So listen to me and do what you're told, but don't forget to act like you're 5 years old, like Pee Wee Herman. Act like a jerk and get on the dance floor, let your body work. So y'all rock as the DJ gets the turntables turning, and let's do the dance called the Pee Wee Herman. Yo, going out for the DJ Cool Chris, wherever you are, rocking it on in the park sector. You know what I'm saying? Columbus High School out there doing the Pee Wee stand. Cousin Louie Lou be Pee Weeing out there in the rooftop, you know what I'm saying? Word up to my partner, JB Money. Entertainment Records, rocking it on. Karen from the uptown side, you know what I'm saying? To the girl Naja. My little sister Florence, I need to be doing the Pee Wee on the downtown scene. Downtown scene. To the east brings the master of the Pee Wee dance. Man, Chuck, chill out, whatever you at. Little East freaks be rocking on. The homeboys from Tito always easy and born free. To my mom, Pee Wee too, she be rocking it. Man, Mr. Davis be doing the bacon. 4-7. Turn up. I'm just love. On the Pee Wee side.
Yeah, I know my mom be doing the Pee Wee, and she rocking it fresh too. Welcome back to the IRONWORX right here, freeworld.fm. Also live on the Iron Real Media YouTube channel. Look at me, I got it right this time. Big shout out to everybody that remembered Joski Love and the Pee Wee dance. Yeah, that was a hot minute ago. The 86 is when it came out, from what I saw when I was downloading the song. And I probably heard it when I was 89 or 90 when I first heard it. Oh, take that.
Yeah, Daz dropped an old school rap in chat. Said listen to some Too Short for a Fun Day. I haven't heard Too Short in so that was
my God.
the first rap, like gangster rap type, you know, not Run DMC or something like that, but real rap. I heard that before I heard NWA. And Too Short, he's been since like 1980. He's been out there in Oakland.
Who was the band that was from Florida that had that really dirty song? Everybody was losing their mind about it there for a minute. Poppy or whatever. Anyway, everybody was bitching about how dirty they were and how off they were and how hard. I'm like, y'all haven't heard Too Short? I mean, come on.
I know, isn't it? That was some serious. I remember my my buddy's mom. She was really big on no parental guidance, explicit lyrics on anything. No music that we were allowed to listen to had that on there. Well, my buddy's dad took us to the CD store to go get a new CD, right? And he slipped it. He's looking for the little sticker right in the corner. Well, there was this one and it had a bunch of gangster rap from the early 80s. And the whole CD cover was the explicit lyric sticker. Like the whole, and my buddy's dad didn't even notice it. He's looking for the little sticker, you know, on the CD in the corner. He doesn't care what the CD looks like or anything like that. But the whole CD was the explicit lyrics, you know. When we got home, she flipped out. But eventually, a few weeks later, we got our hands on it and we got to listen to Too Short. Yeah, never forget it. Hit Oakland in 1980. Yeah, wow. That took me back. I could start saying it, but we'd get probably struck instantly. The words.
most likely.
Ain't nothing like, oh my, word to the DJ quick. Yeah, it's like every other word is a expletive. Yeah, Too Short. Wow. Haven't heard that name in a long time. Thank you, Daz. We got to have one of those shows where we just go on Free World FM and just play everything.
Every day. Yeah, there's a lot of times I'm just about to pull the song out and I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. I can't do that. Yeah, we can do that for sure.
The three of us, we've listened to a lot of music, I'm sure.
You'd think.
Well, there's not many places you can go to listen to both Joeski Love and Hank Williams Jr.
There you go. We may have just done a first, a radio first. Hank Williams Jr. followed by Joeski Love. Now there are those, you know, channels. We play anything on this day, blah blah blah. You decide. I remember there was one of those. It had to be like the late 90s, and my buddy called in and requested Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby, and they told him no. They were just like, no, come on, kid.
Don't be dumb.
Yeah. I think Cami it was one of her reaction videos. I don't think she watched it, but it was in the list. It was Vanilla Ice reacting to Ice Baby. I don't know. Like, what would you... I don't know. Because I've seen Vanilla Ice since then, and he seems like a really down-to-earth, somewhat...
He's like a real estate mogul, isn't he?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, house flipper, right. I watched that show for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, he seems like he's somewhat of a normal guy as far as... he's not... He doesn't believe he's Vanilla Ice, like a rapper that... I don't know. He seems different than a lot of the famous people that portray themselves after they're out of the limelight.
You mean like a rapper who's so anti-cop that he gets his songs taken out of the world, but then goes on to play a cop on TV? That kind of rapper?
Yeah, stuff like that. Oh, but yeah, I think I'm going to go watch that one just to see his reaction to himself as a young performer doing Ice Baby. Because that song did not age well. You know, the clothes that they're wearing, all that kind of stuff. It's weird, man. Getting older, you realize that things really don't change all that much in society. Yeah, we have these little I wouldn't even call them hiccups. The youth's version of what they're gonna change the world to be like. But when they grow up and become, the adults, most of them end up in suits and ties and working the 9 to 5 behind a desk somewhere, this and that, yada, yada, yada. Like, we all go through stages as young people, and it seems like none of those stages stick. Like, you don't see many goth 40-year-olds walking around. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had the hippies, we had what else did we have back in the greasers of the 50s, and I don't know. Seems like all the young people have their shtick that they go through. Now there's even more of them. There's like, instead of just having 2 shticks, there's 50 shticks for high schoolers to go through. But it seems like they all come back around, and they, for the most part, society kind of melds people. People aren't really, forming society as much as society is forming people. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely. And the people who don't conform and don't suck that system down and swallow it whole are usually the ones that go on to, like, write huge hit songs, create amazingly fucking phenomenal art, or sit around at 4 a.m. and talk about the earth being flat. Folks like that.
Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose.
That's fine. I definitely don't envy the kids and what they're having to deal with these days, so at all, in any way.
Yeah, no doubt. I give props to the people like Karen and Jack that can homeschool and do. I know there's a lot of people out there that can't homeschool. They just don't have the resources, the ability, the time. But there are quite a few parents out there that could homeschool and just would rather have that 7-8 hours a day not dealing with it. And those are the children I really feel sorry for. Because, even public education in the 80s, it wasn't great, but the stuff that they're talking about now and teaching now would not have flown back then at all. I can't believe it's flying now. And parents are, now that they're finding out about it, they're pushing back, which is nice. It's good to see parents who care, but it's crazy that some of these teachers even got into the position they're in the first place. They have no right to be around children whatsoever. If you feel you need to have grown-up conversations about sexuality with 5, 6, 7-year-olds, you're not a fucking teacher. You're a pedophile. Sorry. That's my opinion. You should not be having sexual conversations with any child that is not your own. Period.
Or even one maybe that is yours? No, I'm being tough.
Well, yeah, exactly. It should be answering questions, like, not, teaching them how to do sexual things, but a parent is the one who answers the question, where do babies come from? Stuff like that. Not some kindergarten teacher with multicolored hair saying, hi, my name is Mr. Mrs. She, they, them, blah, blah, blah. No, children should not have to be subjected to that. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I feel so bad for not only the parents, but especially the children that are being put into this and being taught that this is just normal. This is just normal behavior, and yeah, no big deal. Ooh, sorry.
No apologies needed. It gets under my skin too. That's why I try not to get into that too much, because yeah, then it'll just be us getting struck from our ranting and raving.
Oh man. So Austin wants to do some microwave transmissions down there in the Gulf, Walter. We're looking into he's going to be sending microwaves across the Gulf towards Louisiana and Texas areas, stuff like that. And he's hoping that like the receivers could be something used with a cell phone, hopefully. He's going to be looking into it.
That's
but he
crazy.
He's looking for people in that area. He's like, well, I know a dude that can get to the waterway. Not a whole lot of trouble. Maybe he can be there on the day you're going to do it and see if he can't pick up your signal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how's he broadcasting? I mean, what's his...
He's going to get a dish, a little microwave emitter type thing for sending these. And, he's not 100% sure. We're not 100% sure that there is a phone app or anything like that, but phones can pick up all kinds of stuff. So he's hoping that
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I can listen.
Early days of. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I can listen to police scanners pretty much anywhere around the country. Like every police scanner of every city, you can pick up on your cell phone. So I'm hoping something like this will be
One of the
possible.
early days of the Android system before Google bought it, there were apps in their their Android App Store that basically would turn your phone into a tricorder. Like you could find the strongest radio signal in your area with it. You could find the strongest cell phone tower in your area with it. You could find out like the air stuff. It was like not just, it was crazy. I mean, the level of stuff you could use that phone at that point to monitor. And I was working out on a tugboat at that time, so we were always off, away from things, looking for a better signal. And I would literally lead our boat to a better signal with that fucking app I had on my phone. It was, so awesome. And then I think in the next year and a half, Google bought it all up and all those kind of awesome apps went out the window. I'm sure if you knew somebody who has the ability to root a phone and get into its, systems, they could probably find ways to free up all that stuff. Or if you knew an app store that wasn't necessarily tied to Google. I know there used to be a few out there that you could get to pretty easy. Now I think they're a little harder to get to. You got to kind of know where to go and who to trust. But yeah, man, that's exciting. I even know somebody who allegedly, theoretically, if their neighbor was, helping take care of their grass and their neighbor was sick of a piece of equipment that hasn't been used outside of here at someone, maybe potentially at someone's house that hadn't been used in like 10 years and he was tired of it being in the way. And theoretically, allegedly, he went and got a hacksaw and theoretically chopped it down. And now it's laying theoretically behind somebody's shed. I know where there's a dish that could be used for receiving, actually, if it was a way to rig it up. I don't know enough about it. I'm saying that might have happened in a world. Not in my house, but in a world. Allegedly.
This one time?
And I literally someone allegedly might have thought about taking it to the dump just days ago and then rethought it. Like, that could probably be used for something. Allegedly.
I'm having too much fun with the gifts. Way too much fun. Found a little girl on a sugar rush. Oh, man. I saw we'd been joined. I don't know if the gentleman is nodded off, possibly. But Andrew.
No, I'm here.
Andrew, how are you doing today?
Top of the morning to you, gentlemen.
That was a good one.
I am doing very, very wonderful.
Good.
I am still coming down from last weekend, so it
takes some time, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like reverse PTSD.
Well, hopefully, I'm hoping someone else grabs the reins and starts one of these, an annual event on the West Coast maybe, and one maybe near the center or the north or the south, it is a lot of work, but there's a lot of people that could help, and with promotion and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be a big venue like Karen's been doing. They've been throwing out ideas about maybe camping for a week or something like that, but there needs to be some people in other areas, because as much fun as Vegas was, it was a lot more work traveling and doing all that kind of stuff for Karen.
Yeah.
Not even being able to see the venue and trying to get things set up, and, knowing how big of a stage you need when you don't really even get to see the room. And, it's different. So I think if there will be another Flattoberfest, I am really hoping there will. This one went so well, I could see Karen, but it's probably going to be on the East Coast again, in the area. It's just easier for Karen, especially for Cami and I, with how the world works and stuff, hauling all that stuff all over the place. But we would love to see some more pop up.
Well, I've already made a promise to a couple of people that live in Florida, and Skylar, once he gets released, I've already promised that I'm going to fly out there, meet up with Austin, the Melodome, Skylar, and Chris, and all those guys that live out there. So it's going to be a little bit of a gathering, but hopefully we can get as many people involved as we can.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, we need to get like meetups going. Kind of like a Flattoberfest, but we need 4 of these a year, I think, or at least 2. Because once a year, that's just too far in between seeing everybody. But if we could do 2 of these a year, maybe.
Well, Karen was doing 2 a year for a while, wasn't she? She was doing.
Yeah, the solar return. It was just, It got to be a lot. It really did. It got to be a whole lot. So I'm saying we need anybody, pick the reins up in another part of the country and be like, yep, we're gonna rent this hall and this, and it's scary because like Karen, to do the first one, Karen put up quite a bit of money to get it all started. And then that one kind of pays for the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. But that first one, it's not cheap throwing one of these things and putting it on and getting the money to get your presenters out here and, hotels and all that kind of stuff. It adds up real quick.
Yeah, plus the conference room. I'm not entirely sure what it costs to rent that room.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
Yeah, I'm guessing somewhere in the ballpark of $5,000 to $10,000 a day.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the logistics, but yeah, this one was definitely the most expensive one that she's thrown so far for her. As far as all the money that she had to put out beforehand and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. It went really well. It had a location where it was easy for them to get there. There was lots of hotels in the area, all that kind of stuff. So, Vegas is nice logistically for people because getting there and staying there is a little bit cheaper than staying at other places. So yeah, there's a lot of things that go into planning one of these, and but it can be done, and there's lots of people out here to help.
Yeah, what I liked seeing a lot is how many people were just there to volunteer and help, set up the stage, break down the stage, and you and Cami were just volunteering to, work and at the front booth. And
yeah, the registration and all that.
Yeah, registration. Yeah, it was just there were so many people that were, and I was one of them. I helped take everything down at the end, and I helped set up all the tables and the chairs and stuff.
Yeah, I went to go help set up the stage and stuff the day before, but there were so many people helping. I just felt like I was in the way. You know, after we got all the ID badges and everything all alphabetized and all that kind of stuff and put into lanyards, it was like, well, what do I do now? Yeah, there were so many people this year helping. It was awesome, overwhelming. But yeah, they're out there. If you decided to throw something like this, I'm sure there'd be, you know.
I don't have enough of an internet following to to gather people, but Jaron, he's over here on the West Coast, and we're going to be doing our other mirror flash probably whenever Jaron wants to assemble that, but probably sometime like in December. We're going to head back out to the same location and do that. But Jaron's already doing he's got his, him and Austin are doing the, what do they call that? Their summit, the online summit.
Yeah.
And that's going to be in like a couple weeks, I think.
Nice. Yeah, it's usually in November. So yeah, we're coming up to it here. Yeah. I cannot wait for the next festival now.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah.
You're going to have to.
All right. So what's the third and final song of the Moonday going to be?
All right. Let me.
Chief Crow.
Hey. Love me some Chief Crow. And that one,
that
you
was,
went after Garble.
Yeah, that was an amazing performance they put on. And unfortunately, I did miss the part when Lowry fell off the stage. I didn't see that.
Yeah, me neither.
Somebody's going to have to draw me a link or something. I don't have it handy.
Okay, I'll find one.
Well, I did drop one in the Skype chat a few days ago.
Conspiracy Music Guru is also another one.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's right there in the Skype chat. Bread and Circus from Chief Crow. I love how he actually does all the animation and stuff with it too.
Yeah, last year Watson had done a lot of his. I didn't get to see any of it this year. Here we go. I got one for you, Walter.
Oh, I got it ready. I pulled up Andrew's already.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So I don't have a clue if it starts cold or.
He started Chief Crow the first time I saw him at Karen's event. He starts playing all these songs, and I had no idea that it's like he did this one, and he did this one. All songs I've heard, songs Flat Earthers use, and all kinds of stuff, but I had no idea who had done it. And it's like, oh, he did this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Yeah, just an amazing musician. It's been kind of a staple at the Flattoberfest events the last few, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think he's going to be invited back every single time because he never disappoints.
No, an amazing show.
Well, by request from Andrew B. This is Bread and Circus, Chief Crow, right here, IRONWORX, Free World FM.
Majesty, entertain, ball and chain. Reptile, puppet show, agenda. soap opera. Mockingbird, televised can of worms. Here comes Crow, stereo, 432, halftime show. Hocus pocus,
That was Chief Crow and the Flat Earth Worms.
And that was
Very
a little appropriate too, because Hocus Pocus, tomorrow's Halloween.
I wonder where that saying comes from, Hocus Pocus.
Good question.
Hocus Pocus. Meaning, maybe? Meaningless
During
talk?
the 1600s, Hocus Pocus was a name commonly adopted by a juggler or a magician. The name and the words Hocus Pocus, which are often chanted during tricks involving sleight of hand, is believed to be a perversion of the Latin blessing from the Catholic Mass, Hoc est corpus meum, or this is my body. Or I guess hoc est corpus, I guess. Anyway.
Interesting. Thank you, Walter.
Uh-huh. I love words.
I love.
I love words.
I do.
That's a
I do
shirt
too.
right there.
I've never heard anyone say that though.
I know, that's a shirt.
You should not even get me started with alliteration. Oh, man, ask Josh. He'll tell you. That's why we were the Friday Flat Earth Fringe cast for the longest time.
Uh-huh.
Flat Earth Friday Fringe cast. Lord, I can't even say it anymore. Well, that no good, buddy, been long.
So I found an article. It says researchers reveal hidden sensory mechanism of hair follicles. Now, I don't know if you ever heard the stories, but a lot of the Indians believed that their hair was like their connection, like an antenna to the world around them. They didn't allow their hair to be cut. That's interesting that now they're finding a hidden mechanism within the hair follicle that allow us to feel touch. The findings have been published in Science Advances. This is from phys.org. Previously, touch was thought to be detected only by nerve endings present within the skin and surrounding hair follicles. This new research from Imperial College London has found that the cells within hair follicles, the structures that surround the hair fiber, are also able to detect the sensation in cell cultures. They found that these hair follicle cells release a neurotransmitters histamine and serotonin in response to touch. Findings that might help us in future to understand histamine's role in inflammatory skin disease like eczema. Lead author of the paper, Dr. Claire Higgins from Imperial's Department of Bioengineering, said, "This is a surprising finding as we don't yet know why hair follicle cells have this role in processing light touch. Since the follicle contains many sensory nerve endings, we now want to determine if the hair follicle is activating specific types of sensory nerves for an unknown but unique mechanism." Goes on to say, we feel touch using several mechanisms. Sensory nerve endings in the skin detect touch and send signals to the brain. Richly innervated hair follicles detect the movement of hair fibers, and sensory nerves, known as CLTMRs, that are only found in hairy skin, process emotional or feel-good touch. Now, researchers may have uncovered new process in hair follicles. To carry out the study, the researchers analyzed single-cell RNA sequencing data of human skin and hair follicles and found that hair follicle cells contained a higher percentage of touch-sensitive receptors than equivalent cells in the skin. Co-cultures of human hair follicles, blah, 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 blah. They just like using a lot of words. They then decided to investigate how the hair follicle cells signaled to the sensory nerves. They adapted a technique known as fast scan cyclic voltammetry. VOLTAMMETRY. Found that the hair follicle cells were releasing the neurotransmitter serotonin and histamine in response to touch. Isn't that amazing? Almost like the Indians knew this, that their hair was special. And they concluded that in response to touch, hair follicle cells release that activate nearby sensory neurons. Blah, blah, blah. This is horribly written. The research. How many times are you going to write the researchers? Also conducted the same experiment with the cells from the skin instead of the hair follicle. The cell responded to light touch by releasing histamine, but they didn't release serotonin. Okay, so in conclusion, Dr. Higgins said, this is interesting as histamine in the skin contributes to inflammatory skin conditions such as eczema. It has always been presumed that immune cells release all the histamine. Our work uncovers a new role for skin cells in the release of histamine with potential applications for eczema research. It's never been done on a living organism yet. It's always been done in cell cultures and blah, 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 blah. Imagine that. They're gonna need more money. But interesting that they're finding, yeah.
It just sounds like NASA. We need more money.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what all these articles are really for. It's more a commercial than anything else. But you're not really buying any product. You're, they're trying to hype up something that they found so they can get more research to then find out more about it. This I find a lot more interesting than the mating habits of the dung beetle on cocaine. So hopefully our government will.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we pay like $2 million last year for the reproductive something or other mating habits of dung beetles while high on cocaine. $2 million.
That sounds like an excuse for government agents just to buy cocaine.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't really care what the dung beetle's mating habits are when the scientist is on cocaine.
Yeah, the scientist has a lot more fun when he's on cocaine watching dung beetles. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird how much money some of these universities and government agencies get to do some of these ridiculous experiments. Like it was, I think Harvard or Stanford, they requested $300,000 to build a mechanical squirrel so it could interact with other squirrels. It's like what? Why?
Yeah. And the reason for this was
I have no idea.
But yeah, your hair releasing serotonin. Now, Walter, what is serotonin? You were a biology guy back in the day.
It's one of the neuroreceptor chemicals your brain releases, and if you're a person who tends to like to go to medical people and get medical things to put in your body, then 9 times out of 10, when you go, say you have a case of the Moondays, what they'll do is hand you a big old handful of stuff that's blocking those serotonin reuptake inhibitors, is what they're called.
Oh shit!
And
Walter
they
said it.
block those areas, and they will definitely cause lots of psychosis. And that's why people who are generally on those things tend to be fucking nut jobs. And when they try to get off of them, it can make them even worse.
So is that what that is? You stop your body from getting the serotonin, and then all of a sudden when you're taking those,
right.
It's like you get an overdose of serotonin.
Right.
Well, right. So when you take a certain illicit drug, like MDMA, also known as ecstasy, it releases a whole bunch of serotonin into your body, making you feel very euphoric and, all that kind of stuff. But then your body is basically depleted of it, and it turns people into like zombies, because you won't have the ability to feel happy after you come down from it, because all your serotonin.
Yeah,
is basically
MDMA was
depleted.
originally used in psychology as a way for couples who were not able to communicate with each other to do that. And it was so effective that it got out on the street. And it's, so like serotonin is the one that's like tied to mood, happiness, chillness, you know, that kind of stuff. And then, like you said, you get that overloaded and your body gets all out of whack. Well, damn, what's the other one that everybody's on right now because of the games and the Facebook? Dopamine. Same idea there, except it's more about your reward system in your body. I'm sorry, what, sir?
I just don't understand why you would want to block serotonin. How that would make you feel better.
Because doctors know everything. They have white coats on, man. Haven't you seen the white coats? Some of them have pen protectors in their pocket, even.
Yeah,
What's interesting
MDMA releases serotonin, which makes you feel euphoric. So if you're feeling depressed, we're going to cut off this euphoric chemical so you don't feel it at all ever again. So I guess it's not that you're not going to feel sad anymore. It's that you're not going to feel happy, so you don't even notice when you're sad. Is that the idea behind it? I don't know. It seems like a total opposite of what you would do for somebody that's depressed.
Well, the Department of Veterans Affairs has actually been introducing MDMA, like medical grade MDMA, to suicidal patients, and they would use it like once per week during like their therapy sessions. So the VA is actually reintroducing it.
Yeah, that seems like it would be actually something that, you know, would kind of help you, but removing serotonin, which, you know, creates that euphoric feel, I don't understand how that would help a depressed person other than maybe it would stop mood swings, because you wouldn't have these highs and then therefore the lows wouldn't be as low. Maybe I don't get it. If anything, you would put them on a prescription of a very low dose of MDMA or something like that. Put them in a better mood. I don't know. It just seems dumb the way, like totally ass backwards, which sadly kind of coincides with everything else that we do. But yeah, I just don't get that. I don't see the connection of removing the happy juice of a sad person, to put it in layman's terms. If this thing makes a person feel better, let's remove that, and then what, the person just doesn't feel at all? I don't know. That makes sense.
Well, you know, once they establish the baseline for your chemicals in your brain and worked out exactly what everyone should have, they did.
Yeah.
Let's go back and talk to Jerry.
Because we're all machines and just all the same, right?
Speaking of Jerry, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to his channel, but he's been putting out some pretty amazing stuff over the last 6 to 8 months. Our good buddy Jerry Marzinski.
Yeah, I'd love to have another chat with Jerry. A lot of people at Oktoberfest knew of Jerry Marzinski. I brought him up a lot. One of the things we were talking about, it was wild. There was quite a few religious people there in Vegas. It was cool, you know, into the belly of the beast and all that kind of stuff. But demons came up a lot. We were talking about demons a lot or people were bringing it up with me a lot, at least. And I always mentioned Jerry Marzinski's name, and it seemed like everybody there had heard of Jerry Marzinski.
Right, absolutely. So something about this just keeps reading bad for me too. It doesn't make sense. So I did a little more research actually. And what it is that the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Okay, so the way the serotonin works normally is once it's produced by the body and sends its signal where it's supposed to go, then it's reabsorbed by the nerve cells. That's the reuptake part. And what these do is block that action, which leaves a lot of excess serotonin just hanging out, waiting for you to need it or use it. And that's how it's supposed to. This is literally in, let's see, this is at, nhs.uk mental health, blah, 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 blah. This is their site talking about official psychology and health about your brain and all this. And this is the first sentence of how SSRIs work. It's thought that SSRIs work by increasing serotonin levels in the brain. Full stop. Done. Fuck you. I'm done. I don't need something you think might do this to my fucking brain chemistries. Thank you.
Yeah, that's enough right there for me not to take it. We think we're going to do this to your brain.
And even
we're not really sure.
Well, the last sentence here says, it would be too simplistic to say that depression and related mental health conditions are caused by low serotonin levels, but a rise in serotonin levels can improve symptoms and make people more responsive to other types of treatment. So basically, they have no idea what the cause is or really how this is particularly working. They just know that it changes people.
If you take it, you shut the fuck up and stop bitching about your problems. Good job. Moving on to the next patient.
Well said, Walt.
But don't stop taking them. Right? Go and
Well,
just
that's
try
the
to
whole
stop
pharmaceutical
taking one
Oh,
of these things.
no, absolutely. And when you start having those side effects, well, we got something for that.
Yeah, I worked with a lady. She tried quitting these uptake inhibitors on her own 2 different times. The first time she tried to kill herself. The second time she flipped out on a bunch of people at work and just did the whole like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you when I'm out. It was like one of those, but like hardcore. And both times, she had decided she was just going to stop taking those things that the doctor gave her because she didn't like the way they make her felt like a zombie. And yeah, you can't just stop taking these things. It's dangerous. You're a danger to yourself, it seems like. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I never took any of these things. I did it for recreational purposes. I've never been prescribed anything by a doctor. And I don't play one here on the radio. But yeah, it was a weird, really weird feeling. I had an uncle in the military in the VA, and he was being tested with all kinds of stuff. He was like one of the first people given Xanax and all that kind of stuff. They usually test them out on the vets. And he had this one thing, he quit taking them, but it made you feel like you felt your teeth, is all I could say. Like every square millimeter of your teeth up into your gums and everywhere. The weirdest, most horrible feeling I think maybe I've ever had that didn't hurt. It was just so weird and eerie. And that was just one of those things that
Cause
I don't even know if it
tooth
had a name.
awareness. That's nuts.
Yeah. I took that one time and it messed me up bad. Like I had trouble keeping my eyes open. It was really, and usually I like things that do that to me, but the whole teeth thing really turned me off. I was like, nope. I was scared to drink or eat anything. They want to hurt my teeth. It was weird. But yeah, any of these things, it's not, I don't know. I don't recommend them.
Well, I heard of, like, I think I was in, I was in college, and certain people there at the campus that we would hang out with that, had access to things we enjoyed, also had access to other things that we didn't particularly care about. But when other people would access or acquire those things and take off with them, we would always ask this person, like, what's the deal there? Isn't that for like crazy people? And they're like, yeah, they get off on it for some reason. I never understood that. I don't know. I guess I'm just so anti-medication and so pro-natural growing things that it never made sense to me. Yeah, I don't get it. I definitely don't get it. I know there are definitely, now I have to say also that when I worked at that casino I talked about, and as it began to destroy my life and my family's life and all that, I got pretty out there and decided that since a lot of my coworkers were going to doctors and getting et cetera, I would do that too. And so I went and I tried. something. The big name one, I'm trying to remember the name of it. The first one, it was the big one everybody knew about. This would have been about 96, 98, something like that.
What was that?
Damn it. Anyway, what was it?
Not Zoloft. It was Christina Ricci did a movie.
No, it's way older. Way older. First, Paxil. There it is. It was Paxil.
Yeah, my grandmother, when she was still alive, she was going into the hospital all the time because she had, I don't know, Munchausen syndrome, like for herself. So she was always loving all the attention from the doctors and nurses and stuff. And one day she went into the hospital and the doctor said, "Hey, we have this new medication that's available and we'll give you a $900 credit and it'll be free." And my grandma was like, "What?" And she was a nurse, so she was a little skeptical about that. And she called my sister, and my sister was earning her PhD at the time in biochemistry. And my sister was like, "Yeah, don't do that. They're using you as a lab rat. That's why they're going to give you money to do this, and it's free." So yeah, the doctors do that all the time.
Well, we're going to try this new thing out. And yeah, what they mean to say is we're experimenting on you like you're a lab rat. And they get kickbacks for it.
Oh, yeah.
I had a buddy who was a pharmaceutical representative. And his job was to take people out golfing and have big steak dinners and fancy, top shelf booze and really whatever they wanted. Take them out, have a good time, get them to buy whatever product, whatever pill he was selling. And then let them know if you write out this many prescriptions, you win this prize. If you. Yeah.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
And a lot of it's not money so much. They can't just give them straight cash, so they'll give them like a vacation or, a week stay at this or that or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's always ways around it. And, the U.S. government calls it lobbying. And I'm sure there's a name for it in the medical industry. It's bribery, legal bribery, pretty much. Just crazy. But that's really going to bring us real close to the end here, folks.
Yeah,
So
it is. Definitely.
we made it through another Moonday. Love y'all.
Absolutely. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Andrew, for coming hang out with us.
Oh, it's
Thank
always
you all
wonderful.
for the awesome music suggestions, and we will be back here Wednesday morning. Will it be a new month? I think it will.
I think
right?
it will be. I think tomorrow is it. So happy Halloween.
Right? It's almost time, kids.
So after the show ends, I'll tell you a little Halloween story. I don't know if I should tell it online.
All right.
It was the last time I
there you
dressed
go.
up.
So if you are accessing our calls as a post-show thing, then you need to get in there to hear this story Andrew's hiding from the rest of y'all.
Gatekeeping.
Right?
Come be one of the cool kids. After show party. Starting soon.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Zach. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
And thanks to all of you out there in chat. It's been an absolute pleasure this morning. I really have a little bit to do at work that I told my boss I'd get done, but I think I'm going to do that and just come directly back home and spend time with Evie. Just because I can. She needs the time to adapt anyway. At least that's going to be my excuse. So
And the bunnies.
And the bunnies, yes, of course. So thanks, guys, for hanging out with us this morning. This has been another exciting episode of the IRONWORX right here on freeworld.fm. Be on the lookout. That website's going to be up and running here this week at some point. That's the rumor, at least. So until then, guys, be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.